3, 2, 1.
Parley with Destiny J.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Parley with Destiny J, and I'm Destiny, and I have another great show for you planned today. I have a guest that goes by the name of Goddess Aayanna.
Peace.
Hey, thanks for joining me. So on this show, we basically talk about random stuff that's happening in the world, and it's more centered around pop culture and social issues, but today is going to be a little bit different because our guest is different from what we normally have. So just to kind of get people familiar with what you do, can you kind of break down what you do?
Well, I'm an activist. I consider myself a revolutionary in every facet, family life, actually doing work for my community and that. And I have a platform on YouTube as well as Instagram where I talk about, new types of relationships like polygamy, empire building, nation building, and, just doing work in the Black community and uplifting our brothers and sisters.
So that is basically the reason why I found you. Like, I found you because I do a lot of listening to lectures, and I think you did a lecture with Young Pharaoh, and that's how I found you. And from that video, I was like, oh, she's dope. Oh yeah, really
Thank you.
Feeling the shit that she's talking about, because it resonates with me. So that's how I came across you, actually, on YouTube. And so that's why I invited you here, because I just love what you do.
Thank you.
So could you give us a little bit of background as far as what led you on the path that you're on today?
Well, I actually grew up overseas in South Korea mostly. I did travel a lot growing up because my parents work for the Department of Defense. And so just being very multicultural, living in different environments and always seeing different perspectives, I've always been extremely open-minded. And I never actually had a sense of wanting to control a man and wanting him just to be with me. I never thought that was a problem. If I did, it was more because other people thought it was an issue. And so just having a different background, growing up in Korea, the culture is very extremely different, very much more open people. They're into astrology. So I kind of grew up learning about my blood type and what that meant, and astrology and what that meant. And I've always worked for my community. When I was 17, I briefed the Chief of Staff of the Army, which is the highest ranking general in the Army, and I did it again when I was 18. I've always been involved as a youth leader growing up, and that's just carried over into my adulthood.
Oh, so I do have a question. This brings me to another question that I've been dealing with this for a while. With the support of your family, how does your family support, or do they support what you're doing now? Do they support the activist?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
Like I said, my parents work for the Department of Defense, so they're not with it. They're not really with it as much. As a matter of fact, I'm really I've always kind of been the black sheep of my family, but I've always been kind of charismatic. So it's like a love-hate relationship. But they'd rather me not speak out. It makes them very uncomfortable. But I understand that that's because of the programming, white insanity. I've stopped using white supremacy, but the white insanity programming that we've been going through and conditioning, where we think that we should just conform to government, even if it's not just.
Yeah, I think that's my same issue. My family is supportive, but they're more supportive as far as the feedback that they give me. They don't necessarily, and I think maybe they might be getting there, but they're not necessarily down with the things that I say either. My mom was in the military. She served in the Navy. She's retired. She did 22 years. And I think like your situation, there's some sort of brainwashing going on and some sort of allegiance to this country because they served in the military. And so it makes it hard for them to really, and especially my parents. I think that they do the best that they can, but I think that there's room for improvement on that part. Sometimes I have issues where like I'm telling them things that make total sense. You know, I can give them the outcome of what's going to happen if they don't listen to me. It happens, and they still don't acknowledge like what I said. And then it's like, okay, well, I told you this was going to happen. You didn't listen to me, so when are you going to listen? So I'm just trying to battle with that, as well as like I don't think that my family can take me saying righteous things and it being like end all be all. They have to hear it from somebody else.
Right.
And it'd be the same thing that I've been telling them over and over and over again. But they can't hear it from me. I don't even get credit.
It got to be from somebody outside.
So I struggle with that too. So I just found that interesting that you said that your parents, you know, it makes them uncomfortable, because I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I hope that, you know, one day our parents do kind of figure out that what we're doing is for the betterment of our people and our community, and they jump on board.
Right. And it's actually through my father that I'm related to Malcolm X, so I've always expected him to be a little bit more, you know, for the revolution. But I think even being related to Malcolm X can sometimes make him feel uncomfortable, so that's unfortunate.
It
but
is
unfortunate. I think it takes time, especially once they've been in a certain mindset for years on top of years. It just takes like little by little. I can tell it's a little bit different from 2 years ago, but you know, when our parents evolve a little bit faster than they're willing to sometimes. So.
Right. So I noticed that you have some similarities as far as the schooling of your children. I know that you homeschool. I know your children are younger too, right? You have two children.
2 and 4. Mm-hmm.
So how far are you planning on taking that?
Homeschooling all the way through. I don't really plan on ever putting them into the indoctrination system. They call it education system here in America. Hopefully in a few years, I won't even be, you know, I'll be able to move abroad more so than I am now. But children are very intelligent. I don't have a super strict regimen right now because they are so young. I'm getting a little bit stricter with my daughter. Mm-hmm. But I know naturally they pick up things faster when they're having fun. So I try to make a lot of our lessons fun. I don't keep them at a lesson for more than about 45 minutes at a time. We break, let them do their own thing. We come back later. I give them lessons about 2 or 3 times a day right now. It'll probably get more intense as my children get older. But hopefully when they get older, I will be in a more secure family setting to where it, you know, sister wives or my husband will be able to pick up some of their lessons as well.
That's cool. So, brings me to another question about polygamy. So, can you break down, basically, you said that you've never been one to control anybody or to control a man. So, break down your aspect of how you think polygamy would be beneficial for our community. Or for you, just in general.
Excuse me. Just in general, I think that polygamy would be a more sound foundation because, one, I actually prefer polygamous relationship because I prefer sisterhood, you know, sisters helping each other raise their children and bringing different cultural aspects, different skills to the children and naturally just teaching them what they know. Also, I do really feel like business is very important. I believe that we need to definitely start understanding that marriage, family is all business, and if we kind of that as well and tie that in with love, of course, then we can start coming up through our families like everybody else does. And what we originally did, but we kind of, you know, shattered and kind of lost memory of how we used to build empires. It was all. And so we have more hands on deck, and the family unit gives you a lot of allegiance. You know, you're really, once you're, you know, you consider yourself family, you're married, you know, that's a really, really tight bond. So when we have bonds like that, building empires, those empires have more a stronger foundation and are less likely to break apart, then we have the rise of Black nations. And I'm just looking for the future, how we can build ourselves up to get not only where our ancestors were, but surpass our ancestors. People a lot like to talk about Egypt. I love Egypt, but I want to be better than Egypt. And so I'm trying to figure out a family structure that would help Black people surpass our ancestors.
That makes total sense to me. It makes total sense to me. I think that one of the other people, well-known people that have a polygamous relationship is Brother Polite, and he's one that I watch his lectures all the time, but his family unit is nothing to fuck with. Like, they're solid. They are solid. They don't have to worry about nothing. Everything is within their family. Everything is done through their family. They have multi-businesses through their family. So, I mean, I feel like if you can afford to take care of more than one woman, then you should.
Right. Absolutely. And I love how intelligent the brothers' children are. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until I Polite's archetype and his wives that I said, you know what, I'm going to actually start speaking out on this, because I've already been feeling like this. But Brother Polite gave me the perfect example of polygamy done righteously, because there are a lot of brothers and sisters doing polygamy in the best way. There's a lot of brothers that take advantage of this new polygamous wave. And there's a lot of sisters that are insecure and just want a man so bad that they enter into polygamous relationships when they're really not ready for any relationship, So it's definitely polarities there. But yes, Brother Polite is awesome. I love his family. And how brilliant his children are. That was one of the main reasons when I realized I heard some of his children speak at such a young age. I think he had a daughter that was 5 that could speak 9 different languages.
Right.
I said, whoa, buddy.
They're writing books.
Okay, yes, that's where I want my kids to be. And so, like, polygamy for me is more for the children and our legacy, our children's children, than it is for us right now. So definitely something to think about going forward in the future for any Black family that have the self-love and self-discipline to enter into a relationship like that.
Right. And I think that it also takes knowledge of self. You have to know who you are and what type of person you are in order to know if that situation is for you or not.
Absolutely.
And without you out here just experimenting and just doing shit, you're not gonna know. You know what I'm saying? If that's for you until you're in it, and then you're wrecking basically you're wrecking what they're trying to build, because you decide at the last minute, oh, this ain't for me. But you had a role to play within that family dynamic.
Exactly.
So I don't suggest that you go out there and jump into a polygamous relationship or jump into a situation not knowing how you're going to feel about it, because you are in a situation where you have to share time,
Absolutely.
So it's not the standard boyfriend-girlfriend situation, because and basically in some aspects it is, because a lot of times women are out here being cheated on anyway. So you're in a polygamous relationship, it's just not out in the open.
It's just hush hush.
Right. Until they get caught, and then when they get caught, you still down with it. So I mean, you're not gonna leave, so so you might as well figure out a way where you can benefit from it too. But I wouldn't advise anybody to jump into a polygamous relationship without knowing yourself first.
Right.
It's very important.
Extremely.
So my next question is, I was looking, I was doing my research about you. I was looking at godpeace.com. I was looking at the jewelry that you make. By the way, she makes jewelry, y'all, so she's very multifaceted. She makes jewelry. She does counseling, So I wanted to know, because I don't really know too much about the astrology. I don't really know too much about what these crystals are and the significance. So can you just, we'll take it piece by piece. So you make jewelry. So what is the significance of the more popular pieces of jewelry that you do make and sell through your website, godpeace.com?
Well, I make copper crystal jewelry, and if we know that our bodies are bioelectric entities, machines, if you will, then we know that magnetic and electrical things that emit electricity or energy could be beneficial for our bodies. Now, crystals emit piezoelectricity, and this is just what the ancients have called chi, prana, all of that. You can literally detect the piezoelectricity off of crystals, and crystal energy is very beneficial and harmonious with and for the body. It Crystals vibrate to very high frequencies. Different ones have different frequencies and resonate with different chakras in your body, which are energy portals. And when you wear certain crystals or have certain crystals on you, they increase your aura or your bioelectric field, and it really gives you a lot of energy. And I use copper because copper conducts energy. So even if you didn't have a crystal, you just had copper alone, copper would help unblock any energy blockages that you would have in your body, and it just helps, you know, open up energy that you need open. Oftentimes when we get ill, we get sick, or we have issues, mental stress and things, it's really stemming from the spiritual world. I think everything starts from spirit. Every thought that can even manifest into the physical has to start in the spiritual. So if we can heal ourselves with crystal jewelry, copper, and not just jewelry, just having these crystals and just having copper around, and certain metals, it can be very beneficial to our spirit, which will then slowly but surely manifest into our physical lives.
Wow. That's very impressive. I did not know that. That's why I kind of like stayed away from it, because I was like, I don't know what the significance is. I don't know like what I should be doing with this. Like, I don't know,
right,
you know, why I should. So thank you for breaking that down for me, because I did not know any of that.
So. And I tell people that are kind of new to crystals, like, don't look at, because let's say citrine. Citrine is really good at assisting us with abundance, attaining wealth, and things like that. And I say, don't get a crystal and expect next day you're gonna get a whole bunch of money. No, it's like crystals have different energies. They have different personalities. They're like different friends. Like, you have that one friend that helps motivate you to get in the gym. That could be pyrite. Pyrite's pretty good for exercising and things like that. It kind of gives you energy. And then you have that one friend telling you you are good, you're already prosperous, keep going, and things like that. And that's like citrine always telling you that you already got it. Be happy, be joyful, be appreciative of what you have. And it's those type of energies without words that these crystals give us, our spirit, because our spirit's going to recognize the energy of the crystal before a lot of us notice, can consciously understand the energy of the crystal. So yeah, crystals are really awesome. I love crystals.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try it and like dive in and kind of learn as much as I can, because I think just the meaning behind it is very positive in itself. It's very positive, like, you know. And if you could get energy, and if you can get vibes and things like that, that'll help you go and keep going, then why not try it? You know what I'm saying? Why not try to, you know, uplift yourself in any type of way? I know a lot of people deal with low energy and depression and things like that.
Right.
So, so I think that, you know, based on what you're telling me, that the crystals would be very beneficial for people like that, who kind of deal on the lower frequencies more often than quote unquote regular normal people, and how they feel. Who knows what that is. But,
right, most definitely.
So with that being said, I had a question regarding moon signs and retrogrades. So I really have never heard of Mercury retrograde ever in my life.
The dreaded.
Until you said it on your I think it was Instagram. You were like, the retrograde got you.
Right.
Yeah, so can you break down what that is, and how does it affect us, and what should we or should we not be doing during these times?
Okay, so Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication, travel, point A to point B, data transferring from one location to the other, technology, and such. And because of that, it affects all these areas in our life when that planet goes retrograde. Now, retrograde is when a planet appears from our position on Earth to be going backwards. Although it's not going backwards, it's really we're passing it and it's elliptical. But during this time where it appears to be going backwards, the energy of Mercury goes internal, and it really asks us to think before we speak, think before we communicate, know where you need to go before you travel, be very careful when you're traveling. A lot of people experience car issues during Mercury retrograde. They experience a lot of miscommunication when they're speaking. During Mercury retrogrades, they experience a lot of technical issues. My phone broke the first day of Mercury retrograde.
Oh, wow.
And we just have all these issues with technology. I prefer not to do as many YouTube videos during Mercury retrograde. It's a time that it really wants you to really withhold yourself before you speak. So it's really this time for me is very a recluse time. It's a time that a lot of people are kind of made to be by themselves so they can really think about a lot of things in their life. Any retrograde kind of has that effect, kind of once you it kind of make you feel alone. Okay. But yeah, it just wants us to really think before we speak and master what we want to express before we express it.
So typically, how long do the retrogrades last?
Well, this retrograde will be up on the 22nd, but there is a shadow period where it has to catch up to where it was before it started going retrograde. And it's different for each planet. So for Mercury, because it's the fastest planet in the zodiac, it's very short. It's about a month long. So yeah.
Wow, that is so much information. So moon signs, is that a thing?
That is a huge thing.
Okay.
You know, we mostly know our sun signs. When people ask us, hey, what's your sign? You're naturally going to tell them the sign that thing upon your birth. But we want to know deeper than that. The moon is your emotions. It rules your emotional body. And the moon is going to tell you what emotionally makes you feel comfortable, what emotionally satisfies you. Now, your sun just kind of shows you your behavior. It's a very general thing. But your moon is something that you don't show everybody. It's how you really think about yourself. It's deep mental patterns that are ingrained in you. And as a women, our moon signs, when we ask women, what's your sign? We should really we should really respond with our moon sign, because the moon rules the woman and the sun rules the man. Now, of course, we don't want to knock the sun sign, because it's very apparent. The sun sign is very apparent in our energy. But our moon as a woman is going to show a lot more than a man's moon sign. But it's very important either way, because you really want to understand the emotional body of somebody when you're trying to understand them as an individual.
So what are the moon signs? Because I know the sun signs. I'm an Aries.
It's the
That's
same.
my sun
It's the
sign.
same.
But what are the different moon signs, and do they correlate, or is it just like a bunch
Absolutely.
of signs go under this sign? And like, how does
Okay,
it
so
work?
there are only 12 zodiac signs. And so when you say you're an Aries, your sun is Aries, but your moon could be Gemini, or your moon could be Aquarius. It could be any of the other zodiac signs, but there's only 12 zodiac signs. Right. So basically, we're just trying to understand where the moon, what zodiac sign the moon was in upon your birth. Now, matter of fact, if you want to give me your information, I don't know if you want to say it online over the thing, but if you give it to me in text or something, I could pull up your chart and tell you now what your moon sign is, and I could tell you about your emotional body. Mind you, when you do give me this information, I will know a lot more than just your emotional body and things like that. Your natal chart can tell you all types of things. You have a Venus sign, a Mars sign, a Jupiter sign, a Saturn sign. All the planets, are going to be in a certain sign at your birth. So all of these energies affect us.
Okay, I just sent you a text. And
Okay.
we're forever bonded. So you're just going to have to know about me.
Okay, let me, my internet's a little bit slow, but I'm gonna pull it up right now while we're talking.
Now, okay, so while you're looking up the moon signs or whatever, and when you're going to break this down so I can furthermore understand myself, does astrological sign compatibility, is that really real?
It is really real, but the thing is, our astrology knowledge has been so watered down. We're only looking at the sun sign when we're trying to see if we're compatible with somebody. You can get somebody who's not whose sun sign is not compatible with you, but they're extremely compatible with you because their moon sign is compatible with your moon sign. Their Venus is compatible with your Venus. Their Mars is compatible with your Mars. So when we look into astrology, it's very deep. The compatibility can definitely be read through the natal chart, but you have to look at more than just the sun sign placement to understand the person, the individual, and how you guys are going to interact with each other.
Right.
And where were you born? What was your location?
Portsmouth, Virginia.
Portsmouth.
Look at this, guys. She's gonna do her thing on me. So all you guys are gonna know who I am.
Righteous.
I'm cool with it though.
Okay, cool. I won't get in too deep. I'm not gonna pull. I won't say that the other things, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull up. Now I'm putting your information in now. So, but my sun's in Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It is to me, it's the most fiery sign. Like Aries want to do something, they gonna go do it.
Right.
They kind of impulsive, which is why Aquarius and Aries get along so well, because Aquarius is very sporadic and impulsive, and so is Aries. Like you want somebody to go on an adventure with you, Aries definitely will get popping.
Right. And that's the thing, like I'm trying to control my impulse behavior, but I can't. Like it just always gets the best of me. I think of something and I want to do it right then, right now. Let's go. What are you waiting for?
Right.
Why are you making excuses? Let's go.
Exactly.
Like, what's the problem? I don't get it.
Aries are great at starting projects. Like, if you really want to get off your butt and do something, be friends with an Aries who's going to, as soon as you say, hey, I got this idea, they're like, well, let's go do it.
Right.
You know?
What are we waiting for?
Exactly.
So that's how I am. I shop like that. Like, I'm an impulse buyer. Girl, I buy all type of bullshit, and I be like, what the fuck? Why did I buy this? This doesn't even do what? Never mind. I'll just buy something else. And then I just go, and then I'm just trying to control my life, girl. Everything is sporadic in my life. My sleep is sporadic. When I wake up, it's sporadic. Like, the things that I do, it's just a lot, and it's different.
Right.
Like, some people can be, like, conditioned to do the same thing day in and day out. I can't do that. I couldn't do that to save my life.
Okay. Right. That's so boring.
It is.
Don't want to bore an Aries. And Aries and a Gemini are one of the two signs that can get bored the fastest.
Right. And we do be bored. Our relationships ain't really our shit like that.
Right.
For real.
And that's interesting, because actually the opposing sign is to Aries is Libra, which is your opposite sign, and they're all about relationships, where Aries is all about I am the individual, and Libra is all about the other and union. So that's very interesting you said that. But I do have your chart up now. I don't want to give you your house placements because I don't think you know for sure if 12 a.m. Was your time of birth.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. You good.
Okay, right, because I really need that exact time to tell you your house placements. But I do see that your Mars is in Gemini, so that's very interesting. I knew something had to be Gemini about you, because you do these this radio, and so a lot of people that do radio or do social media and things like that, blog talks, have Gemini, because Gemini is all about expressing data, sharing data, communicating. And knowing the next thing, they're on to the next data. They're not the ones that want to sit there and while they do like research, they're not going to sit and research for a long time. They just want to know a snippet about this and then keep it moving. They want to know a little bit about this and keep it moving.
Right.
They're like the jack of all trades. They know a little bit about a lot. And your Mars is here, so you would have a lot of energy and drive in expressing and sharing communication, data, sharing what you know, learning new things and whatnot. So for you, it would be nice to have a man who is an air sign, who because a woman's Mars sign is going to kind of dictate the type of man she likes. So for you, having a man with a heavy Gemini presence would be good, and that's really good for your sun sign too. So that's interesting. But your Venus is Pisces. So you have this way of unconditionally loving, having no boundaries when you love. People with Venus Pisces tend to attract people that are kind of a mess because they need healing. And so anytime you have a heavy Piscean presence in your chart, you'll notice that people really want to people or you really attract people that need a bit of healing, because Pisces is like the ultimate healer. Virgo and Pisces both have this now. Have this really healing quality, and really able to understand people that are broken and you know have been through
my
things.
whole family is they're Virgos. My daughter's name is Virgo. My other daughter, she is a Virgo. She was born her birthday is a week after Virgo's, but she's older than Virgo.
Okay.
And their dad is a Virgo.
Okay.
So that is I'm so sick of you Virgos.
Interesting. Interesting, because Mercury also rules Virgo as well, so that's very interesting.
That's crazy. All of them are Virgos.
Right, and your moon sign is Cancer. So. And that's a sign that rules the moon. So this is somebody that can be very good at nurturing and kind of helping others feel comfortable. They like to feel comfortable. If you make someone with the moon in Cancer feel uncomfortable, they're really going to feel some type of way. They're going to feel like you almost did it on purpose. Cancer archetype can have this victim mentality. Like if something doesn't go right, like, oh, you did that on. Like, did you like do that on purpose? Like, why are you purposely making me feel uncomfortable? Like, get it together. This is not how I should be feeling right now. It can be a bit moody. Once again, because the moon waxes and wanes. That the moon has a different phase every day. Which once again does rule Cancer. So but these people are, like I said, they're really good at making other people feel comfortable. They have like a nurturing spirit when you really have like deep conversations with them, and so that's really cool about Cancer moons, who I think make very, very good mothers as well.
Wow, that's exciting, man. This whole situation is exciting. The fact that you do this and I feel confident that you're giving me the correct information, like, is amazing. You know how people try to just shoot you some BS and you're like, what the hell, girl? That don't even make no sense.
Right.
What are you doing? And you have that feeling, but you know what I'm saying? You don't want to,
say it out loud. You be like, okay.
Yeah, like, this whole really don't know what she's talking about. But no, I feel very, very confident in the information that you're giving me. And I feel like you've done a lot of research. I feel like this is your shit. Right, so I am very, very impressed, and I think other people should reach out to you if they want to know more about themselves. I mean, go to GuyPeas.com. That's all I can tell you, and connect with her and buy some of her jewelry and just get more enlightened, get more knowledge of self.
Righteous.
This is
so
amazing.
key.
Like I feel amazing right now. Last but not least, I saved the best for last because, I have some, things that I would like to say regarding this topic. But the next topic and the last topic, and we're going to close out, which would be let me not have a stroke. Unapologetically Black. What does that mean in this era? This era meaning with everything moving so fast, the digital era, everything is kind of online, everything is like out in the open, you can see everything. What does it mean to be unapologetically Black at this time?
To be unapologetically black is to be revolutionary. It's to stand up even when you have fear, because we all have fears. It's to stand up for what's right in spite of the fears that you have of what may happen to you if you speak out and somebody doesn't like what you say. It's being so honest and truthful with yourself and with your family and with your community that you see what's going on and you do something about it. It's not just knowing what's going on, it's acting on what's going on and being proud of who you are, understanding what it is to be be black is to be God and acting in your godhood, and instead of sitting in your mortality. You know, being unapologetically black is to love yourself so truly that everybody sees how much you love yourself and decide to love themselves. Being unapologetically black is to love your family so much that you would do whatever you can to make sure that your children have the best future possible. To be unapologetically black is to see your brothers and sisters in the community, and when you see that they need help, you go out your way and you help them because you know that they're worth it. Why are they worth it? Because you know that you're worth it. Because once again, you know that you are God. That is what it means to me to be unapologetically black.
See, and you know what? The issue that I have is with these coons. That's my whole fucking issue, because this could be possible for everybody to act like this and show some generosity and appreciation to their black brothers and sisters. But you got these fucking coons.
Right.
That are out here fucking ruining lives every day.
Right.
Didn't nobody tell you to say nothing? Shut the hell up. Like, that's my whole thing with this Colin Kaepernick situation. You see all these people, like, you know, just kind of going against them. These black people, Shaq being one of them, Cam Newton being one of them. Like, these are people who have a platform that are saying, even though the Star Spangled Banner is about slavery, they still gonna stand up because they would never disrespect this country.
Oh,
if that ain't some fucking slave ass shit, I don't know what is.
Massa pays my bills. I live in a nice house. Massa put me in a nice house right next to Massa. That's all that is. But we got to understand that white insanity biggest tool are those coons, because you can't be a white person come in my neighborhood and say, well, I know what's best for you and you should do this and that, because we already have that natural mistrust of the white man. But if you put a black man and say, look, my brothers and sisters, we need to do this and that, we need to vote for Trump, we need to vote for Hillary, we need to vote for president at all, which is BS to me, period. Because we know that for college chooses the president, we know that if you vote, no matter what your vote is, they can choose whoever they want to be in office, which is what they do. We know that because of the Bush, how Bush got in office. But yeah, I think that everybody, black people in general, need to support the people that stand up for black people so heavy that they're like, well, you know, other black people are like, well, you know, it's not as beneficial to be a coon. You see, we got to start giving them consequences. You want to be a coon, Cam Newton? All the black people that are that understand what it is to be black, we need to start looking at Cam Newton like, bruh. That's not how it's going down. His jersey sales need to go down, and you know, all facets of consequences that we need to dish out to these people that betray the black race. Because anytime that you step on Massa's side and you deny your blackness for Massa's and Massa's dollars, then you have betrayed your race. And we need to start treating these race traitors as what they are.
Right. And I don't believe that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people are even consciously aware that they're doing it because they've been doing it for so long.
Right.
Like, on my show, the normal regimen of my show, we have an Uncle Ruckus moment of the week where we kind of shine light on who did the coon shit for that week. And we talk about it, you know, because at the end of the day, bruh, you stupid. Like, shut the hell up. Stop saying shit. Stop saying stuff. We don't agree with you. Shut up.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, it's that always somebody with a platform doing some dumbass shit that nobody told them. We ain't down with it. Nobody told you to say nothing. Shut up. And as far as this Star Spangled Banner situation with Colin Kaepernick, I understand, you know, why he's doing what he's doing. Other people are saying it's like a hidden agenda. He don't really want to play for the NFL anyway, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck about none of that extra shit. What I do care about is the fact that he did say something and that he's still with it.
Right.
He's still, his story has not changed.
Okay.
It has not changed, and he's still, and even with the people that are coming out the woodworks talking about some, oh, well, you know, this, you're promoting terrorism. He have his shit together. He have it together.
America is terrorism. What do you
like,
mean?
Bruh.
But yeah, I feel you.
Like, what? How is this related to terrorism? Because I know that the Star Spangled Banner is about the killings of black people. So I'm choosing as a black man not to stand up for it because I know what it's about. But then yet you're telling me that I'm aiding to terrorism? Bro, what?
Right. America
What?
aids terrorism every day. Every time that we pay tax dollars for police to continue going about their lives, even though that they have killed one of our brothers and sisters, that's terrorism. We aid terrorism just by paying taxes. We
Mm-hmm.
aid anybody. The U.S. government is the biggest terrorist in the world right now, akin to their close brother, England. So when we start talking about terrorism, we can go into America's history because America started. It was founded on terrorism.
Right.
You know,
We don't need to go into that, and I'm gonna tell you why, because everybody knows. Everybody knows
Righteous.
what happened, how we got here, that we were already here. Everybody knows
Right.
that. People can deny the history if they want to, but it is what it is.
Right. Can't
It is
dispute
what it is.
facts.
Our people are great, and as soon as you realize that you are great, then you'll stop acting like a fucking coon. So, I
Righteous.
guess. So, anyways, thank you so much for joining me today.
you.
This has been awesome. So, where can people find you other than thegodpiece.com, which is your website?
They can find me on YouTube, Goddess Aayanna, and that's Ayanna. They can find me on Facebook with the same name. My fan page is Goddess Aayanna or Aayanna Divine, and Divine is spelled Divign. Or you can find me on Instagram, Divine Stargate, DIVINESTARGATE. And once again, God Peace, and peace is spelled PIECE .com. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I wish you so much luck and good fortune in your future endeavors, and we will be in touch. I promise you that.
Okay.
I'll wait to contact you after the retrograde.
All right. Most definitely.
Thank you so much for today. And yeah, you guys go hit her up and get your life. Just get your life. Bye.
Peace.
That was so fucking awesome!
Parley with Destiny T.
Are you ready to talk about